Hey guys, how you doing? It's Phineas. Hope you're all doing alright. Hope you're all doing really well today. Sorry I'm a bit far away today, but it was the only way. I wanted to show you something super cool which I'm now doing with my diet. And it has changed the way I eat for the first half of the day. So those of you that know me, you'll know that I'm a development consultant, I'm a hair mineral analysis consultant, a nutritional balancing consultant. So I'm advising people to change their diets on the back of hair mineral analysis, which is super cool at telling you mineral deficiencies and toxic metals that are present. So a big part of my advice that I give people is diet. And most of the time that diet will involve eating a lot of vegetables. Now I've been a development consultant for about 11 years and I've been advising that people eat a lot of vegetables for about 11 years. And I know one of the biggest comments from clients is that they do struggle with getting that green vegetables and other kind of colours of vegetables into their diet every day. Sometimes we are, advising up to kind of 9 cups of vegetables a day, which can be hard for people and also not very enjoyable for people. So what I've always tried to do is advise people on the best funky ways to do that, of making your diet tasty and that sort of thing. And I've stumbled across something which I really want to share with you. So I've got most of the content for this vegetable breakfast smoothie from a colleague of mine called Nikki Moses. Her sister Chrissy did a video on it and I've kind of elaborated on that. So thank you very much, Chrissy and Nikki, because you gave me a super cool idea which I'm now going to pass on to my clients. But I have added a few bits and pieces. So basically this, I'm going to teach you how to make a vegetable smoothie, which is great for breakfast and a mid-morning snack. Now, when I used to get up in the morning, I used to kind of, crave carbohydrate, crave oats, that sort of thing. And this has kind of changed that routine. So that the less oats and carbohydrate and that sort of thing that we are eating is great. So our traditional breakfast tends to be quite grain heavy, whether it's bread, whether it's wheat, whether it's oats, whether it's corn. So if you can really get rid of the carbohydrate rich diet in the first half of the day, that's really going to improve your detoxification mechanisms for your body. Now, ever since I've started doing this, I am detoxing metals much more. So without further ado, let me crack on. Okay, so basically, if you're healthy like me, you'll be cooking vegetables every night. So what I want you to do is the night before today, for instance, so last night, cook extra vegetables. Okay, this can be cauliflower, carrots, beans, rutabaga, cabbage, onion, whatever you want to do. But don't put any oil or butter on some of them. So take those out of the pot and put them in a little bowl like that. And for your evening meal, you can add butter or olive oil or whatever, salt, whatever. Or sometimes you don't have to have that stuff. So put a bowl aside of vegetables like that. Now I would suggest maybe 2 to 4 portions of vegetables. I'm a bit light today. My kids ate all of my vegetables last night, which pleased me very much, but that's left me a bit short. So I've probably got about 2 portions there, which is all right. Now, a lot of the advice we've always given is to eat cooked vegetables. Now, that's great. It does release compounds and enzymes that sometimes aren't found in raw food, and obviously it's a lot easier to digest. But I want to suggest that you do start eating some leafy greens like spinach, full of iron, potassium. In this form, when you're going to blend it, it's easy to digest. I'm going to be suggesting cucumber, fennel, ginger and lime, and they're all not going to be cooked, so I'm going to put them straight in the blender. Now just quickly, for the spinach, I've just covered that. It's nutrient packed, and as long as you're not having too much of it every day, it's fine. I would suggest you don't have spinach every day because of oxalates, and they can build up crystals in your blood and your organs, and so spinach is very useful, packed with potassium, a few times a week in its raw form. If you cook spinach, it does tend to just drain everything out of it nutrient-wise. The next thing is I'm going to cheeky little bit of apple, cheeky bit of apple. I know that I don't really recommend fruit, but I do like apples. If I'm going to eat a fruit for malic acid and other nutrients and vitamins. Cucumber, what's really important about cucumber and apple is that if you're going to eat them in their raw form, is you peel the skin off and take the core and the pips out. Now, the reason I suggest that is because of lectins. Now, lectins can hurt your body. They're a part of the plant which is designed to protect it against bugs and nature. And so it's basically lectins are a survival mechanism for the plant. So you want to get those off the cucumber and the apple. So I tend to kind of slice the meaty bits off the cucumber after I've peeled it, get rid of the seeds and pips, and you've got a little chunky, funky little just meaty cucumber there. Cucumber again is great for bowel regulation, great for hydration. Also, sometimes it can be a good blood purifier. So it's really awesome. But again, you're not going to cook a cucumber, so it's good to stick some of that in. I've got fennel here, which is an interesting one. It's got a nice kind of aniseedy flavour for the smoothie, but fennel's also an excellent blood purifier. And both these cucumber and fennel are antioxidant, so they're awesome. Now I'm also going to chuck a little bit of ginger in. So we all know about ginger, antibacterial, antifungal, very good to have a little bit. You can cook it, but I'm deciding to have just a little chunk raw today in my smoothie. Now, the last natural compound I'm going to add in for diet-wise is a little bit of lime juice. So being the smoothie, I like to make it a little more tropical. I find vegetables in the morning a bit bland, a bit kind of plain. So what I'm trying to do with this smoothie is I'm trying to make it a bit more interesting. I'm also going to add a little bit of sweet to it as well. So without further ado, I'm going to crack on. So basically, you've got your cooked vegetables, you've got all your little raw bits that you want. I've got myself a blender here. It was really not expensive. It was, I think, 50, 60 pounds from Argos, which is great. You can get really good blenders everywhere. So I tend to get one that's got quite a big, where it's got several selections of how to mix. You've got a bit of a fatter tub and you've got this blender which is quite tall. So I'm going to use the tall blender today, and I'm just going to chuck my vegetables in, as so. Going to chuck my spinach in. It's probably a bit much spinach, and so I'm going to put less in. I'm going to chuck all my ginger, my apple, my fennel, my cucumber. I'm going to get my lime, just going to squeeze half a lime in. Job done. Much easier to use a lime squeezer, but hey, that's how I roll. Now, here comes the interesting bit. What I want to do is, I want to sweeten this, especially for kids, right? And I do like a little bit of sweet. Sorry, I do. So I've got myself some Modern Nature LiQWYD organic stevia. This is actually caramel flavour, if you're going to be naughty. So what I would do is, just to sweeten it up, I'd get a full dropper of that. I'll stick it in. Now, you're going to want some water added to this, okay? Now, what I did the night before, you don't have to do this, but I saved some vegetable stock from cooking my vegetables. And so I usually don't use that much water for vegetables, but I knew I was doing this today. So I've got a pint of just vegetable water from cooking vegetables. So I'm going to stick that in. Now, as some very, very useful and super nutritious extras, I'm going to put in pure organic chlorella. Now, some people don't advise this, but I've been looking into chlorella, and there's a lot of it I don't agree with, but there's a certain type called peronoidosa. Now, this is so packed with nutrients, you just cannot ignore it. The algae in it, the amount of density that this stuff contains, and it being organic, the amount of dense nutrition it contains. But also what I love about it is it's a natural chelator of toxic metals. So I won't have it every day, but if I'm detoxing, which I feel like I am at the moment, releasing metals, I've got that metallic taste in my mouth, that sort of thing, I want to add a bit of chlorella. I would be adding that a couple of times a week ongoing, or if you're detoxing, I'll be doing it every day. So you can buy 800 tablets for like 20 quid, make sure it's organic, and I'm going to chuck in 6 tablets, yep, of 500, this is a 500 gram tub, and so each tablet is 3 grams, so that's 3 grams of chlorella for 6 tablets, right? So I'm going to chuck those in. And as a super extra, you don't have to do this, but you've got endo veggies from Endomet, and so I like chucking a bit of green powder in there as well. So this is a very powerful supplement full of phytonutrients and enzymes, and so you don't want too much of it. I'm going to stick in just 3 today, okay? And this is going to make 2 smoothies, so it's like having 1.5 endo veggie in each smoothie. So I'm going to chuck that in. One thing I forgot to mention was that if you don't want to use stevia, you can also use xylitol, which is good for your teeth. Again, a very nice natural sweetener. So I think we're ready to rock and roll. If you're worried about protein, you're not having protein, I find this shake really fills me up. So I'll have one at about 9 o'clock, I'll have one at about 11:30, and that will do me till kind of 1:30, 2 o'clock at lunch. But if you are worried about having protein, you can always just chuck in some almond butter, some tahini, or some hemp seeds like that. If you find that your blood sugar you're still hungry after about maybe an hour, then I would chuck some protein in. I don't really get hungry after about an hour, which is great because I'm just having vegetables now for the whole of my morning and for my mid-morning. Okay, so I'm going to chuck this on. Make sure it's sealed, make sure it's locked and loaded. Okay, now I've pulsed that for a bit. I love watching it mix, it's very satisfying. Now, what also someone advised to do to make it a bit more like a smoothie is to add some ice. Now, I don't want too much ice, I don't really want it to be cold, but I do want it to be slightly chilled, have that slightly chilled feeling. So I'm just going to add in, apparently ice is good for the oxidation as well, good to calm you down. Some people might disagree with that, but I've been having it and I think that helps with blood sugar and actually keeping the blood sugar stable for a lot longer. So I'm going to chuck in a couple of ice cubes. You want it really mixed, you don't want any bits, you just keep blending it. Okay, that should be fine. I love this bit. So I'm going to take it off. And I just want to check it first to make sure it's got that sweet element to it. And it's limey enough, because I do like both. And so I'm just going to have a swig of this. Oh, that's delicious. That's so awesome. For me, I want a bit more lime. If I'm being fussy, I'm going to put a bit more lime in. And you know what, just to be cheeky, I'm going to put a little bit more stevia in. That's enough. It was fine before, but I'm just being a bit naughty today. Okay, then mix again. Okie dokie. Cheers. I all want you to be here with me now to taste that. That is awesome, and there's a lot of it, look. So, I'm gonna have that now, right? And I'm gonna save that for later, when I get a bit hungry at 11:30. But that, my friends, is an absolutely fantastic way of getting a lot of nutrients, a lot of antioxidants, and things that are just your body's gonna thank you so much for you doing it. And it's changed the way I eat for the first half of the day. I feel good for it. And it's just so awesome. You keep the other half in the fridge after you finish this one. But all I can say is, if you're having a couple of those a day, and you're not eating anything else in the morning, you can expect, and this is a bit of a warning, you can expect to start detoxing metals. And we all need to be, given the society that we're living in, we all need to be detoxing more metals. We're breathing them in all the time. A lot of the food we eat is stripped of nutrients. We need to be getting stuff like this to extend our lives, to be healthier for our family, for our colleagues, for our children. We all need to be doing this. So guys, I really hope you enjoyed that. Thank you again to Nikki, Moses and Chrissy for introducing me to the concepts. If you're interested in what I do, again, my company's called New Energy 21. All the link is below. We do hair analysis to test the toxic metals and minerals in your body, and we give you awesome development plans to improve your body, your mind and your soul. So I hope you like that, guys. Smash like or share, and do subscribe if you really liked it, and I will see you all again soon. Sending you lots of love and light. Have a great day. Bye for now.